So, earlier today I saw the new official trailer for Total War Troy, one of those Saga games that did oh so great with the last installment. Now, I have a few issues with this trailer. I think a lot of people do with a like to dislike ratio, which isn't crazy but still something to consider. Now, to begin with, not a big fan on the visuals, especially compared to the most recent Warhammer 2 DLC trailers we've seen. They have been great. The graphics seemed odd, the outfits and people looked a bit off, and I didn't give a great feeling of, well, anything. Like the armour sets the main characters have that are a big focus, they just don't look good in my opinion. Not sure if it's the texturing, the general look of it, or all of it. Some of them look a bit like cartoony Shogun sets for some pieces of it. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hector. Now the other thing is that it's an Epic Store exclusive. At least only for the first year when sales were most important, which then ties into my other point, but I'll get into that. I'm not the only one out there that hates the Epic Store. It's incredibly poorly done with tons of issues, including, I find, just navigating it. I'm sure some of that is on me, like don't get me wrong. I just don't spend much time on it, and that's because it's a poor user experience in my mind. The only reason I have Borderlands 3 on Epic Store is because I got it with my CPU late last year, otherwise I would have waited to get on Steam. The fact that they have to bribe people to use their store when sales are on, when giving free games and coupons willy-nilly, just shows how much of a push they have to make. Anyway, my last point that has me even more worried, which ties into the very last point that I just made then, is that for some reason, it's free for the first 24 hours of release. So not only is it being sold exclusively on a platform I'd say fewer people use and trust, which would in turn lower sales, but it was going to be free on its initial launch day, when funnily enough, most people, or at least a lot of people, would buy it. Now, to me, that brings up some more red flags for how much faith they actually have in their own product. Is it just me, or does it seem like a huge cash grab to fund other projects, as they basically put it? Now, I read the article they published about why it's on Epic Store and why it's free, but I'm not buying it. They talk about saying how they love their main audience, but want to branch out, and they do that with going on other platforms, which, fair enough. So, why would you expand your audience by restricting your audience? What? A good way to go on other platforms and expand your audience is being on as many platforms as possible. Now, I know that Epic gives them the money that they would otherwise receive from the sales, but again, this doesn't paint a great image for a title that hasn't even been released yet. So whilst we have some time before the game is released, which I'm sure we'll get more trailers and information on, my faith in the game and the Saga series they've been doing has not really gone up. I would have thought they would have tried to learn from the other Saga game for its release to make up for the fact that very few people enjoyed Britannia and even fewer people still play it. Well, as I'm sure there are more points to make, but with my small amount of energy I have right now, I'll be ending it here, and I wish you all a cracking day.